What's up, everyone? We're back again to break down another MLB Fanduel slate. But before we get into today's slate, we're just going to give a quick rundown of what happened yesterday. What'd you take away from yesterday, Justin?
If you didn't play DeGrom, you played, who was it, Nola Giolito. You're lucky. Somebody tweeted out yesterday, I can't remember who said it, but somebody said something that DeGrom is the Anthony Davis of baseball. And obviously, when he's healthy, he's like one of the best pitchers on the mound, but he kind of looked like crap and then gave up like 2 hits and 1 inning with like 1 out and then just got pulled out. The stack really didn't get there. Um, Sorry, the Arizona stack didn't really get there, but rough couple games. 2 slates ago, we had Aaron Judge go out. Um, we had a couple different chances with Adames and Brian Anderson to drive in some runs. The initial build had Cal Rayleigh, and his first at bat he homered, and then we switched off to get Josh Naylor and Stephen Kwan, who were a little bit less owned, and they just didn't work out. But smaller slates, hopefully we just bounce back today. It's just frustrating last couple days of DFS.
Yeah, I mean, we just been a little unlucky with injuries and, runners left on base. I'm pretty sure we've had bases loaded for like nine of our guys, and they've gone over nine in the last couple slates. It's actually insane, but, you know, just the way it rolls sometimes. We're
And
gonna,
even with like Adames, like he homered and then had a chance with bases loaded. And I think we had one of our other bats were on base for Milwaukee. Not saying he needed to hit a grand slam, but a hit in the outfield brings in 2 runs, just something, and then he struck out swinging or some crap like that. But you know, like you said, it's just how it goes, unfortunately.
yeah, and today's slate is pretty interesting. I mean, we have cores again, but I mean, with two pretty bad arms on the mound, so it's going to be pretty chalky. But I do think there are some other spots to get to for tournaments, and pitching looks pretty condensed. Uh, I think we can just hop into pitching first if you want.
Yeah, this should be pretty simple with pitching. So right now, Nathan Eovaldi projected for 29%, Corbin Burns 20, Clayton Kershaw is projected to be one of the best on the slate at only 8%. I really only like Clayton Kershaw, Corbin Burns. I understand Eovaldi just in case if Judge isn't in the lineup and it's just a watered down lineup. But what do you think? Like, what is there anything else that stands out to you, or is it just kind of those 3 guys?
I mean, with Kershaw getting projected 10% ownership, he's probably my favorite arm. Burns is a fine play. I mean, obviously, he can drop 50 any slate he really wants to. Um, just depends if he actually wants to. Um, Montgomery, not really on. I think the Dodgers are getting a little healthier. I think Will Smith came back yesterday, so hopefully his addition to the lineup just takes Montgomery out of consideration for me. Um, Detmers, I guess he's the same play as like Tyler Anderson yesterday, same lefty arm against Milwaukee. Um, Anderson looked fine yesterday. I think he went 7. Detmers, I guess he's okay. Eovaldi, like you said, Yankees could have a watered down lineup, but they don't strike out as much as I would like. And he's given up 5 hits minimum in every start. He has gone 6 innings in 2 out of 5, so that's good for Fanduel scoring. But if he's gonna be 30% owned, I'm not gonna play him. Lynn, I don't like challenging Tampa. Still, I'm just not gonna do it. If they drop 15 on my head and I play Lance Lynn, I'll never forget myself. And then obviously I'm not playing the Coors pitchers. So Kershaw number 1, Burns 2, Detmers 3, I guess.
Yeah, like we were saying, Eovaldi is 8,500. The only issue is he's about to be 30%. Now, it kind of makes sense with a watered down Yankees lineup, but it's Eovaldi. I guess if you really want a cheap pitcher, go with him or Detmers, but I feel like your priority has to be Clayton Kershaw or Corbin Burns, and Clayton Kershaw is only projected for 8%. Kind of, and obviously he's 10-8, but kind of got to take advantage of that. So,
Yeah, and with the data from the tool that you just had up, as you can see, like Kershaw, Eovaldi, Burns are all 15% to be top 1%. So, I mean, there's not much separation between these guys. It just depends where your stacks are going to take you. I think, the cores bats are going to be pretty expensive. So if you end up having to pay down for, Detmers or Eovaldi, they do have relatively the same percentage to be the top pitching arm today. So I don't hate it.
it's not like the slates that we've had recently where it's you can get away from an 11K pitcher because there might be a guy that's like upper nines, lower tens that you can get to at just slightly better matchup or just the same. It's kind of like this is a slate where 90% of people should be paying up, and if you just got pretty big nuts, I guess play Eovaldi or Detmers, but that's basically it. You want to get into sticks real quick?
Yeah.
All right, let me share this. So no surprise here. Coors, Arizona, Colorado. Then you got Tampa, Texas, Milwaukee, Dodgers, and then it's pretty. Nobody should be playing any of these bats whatsoever. Top stack, Arizona, 27%. They're just killing it across the board today. So is there anything else that's standing out to you here besides maybe the top like three here? Like, are you getting into any maybe Texas or Dodgers bets?
Um, I do like the Dodgers a little bit, just depending on the lineup they roll out. I also think Tampa against Lynn, who's predicted for 20% ownership, looks pretty good. They're kind of expensive, so they should be pretty low owned. Um, not, I mean, I don't hate Texas here against Brito, but there's like 4 or 5 teams I like better than them today. Um, I guess if you do want to go against the Eovaldi chalk, no, I can't do it. I can't play in Yankees. So I refuse. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, Coors, Tampa, Dodgers, depending on the lineup, Texas, and that's basically it. I mean, I don't know much about this Tampa arm, uh, so I don't really know if the White Sox will be in play, but I'd rather not.
Sorry, I was writing notes and the Dodgers kind of interest me. And I remember just loading this up and I was kind of like, why are the Dodgers like middle of the pack? But obviously when you have cores, no matter what team it is, they're always going to be super high owned as a stack and have like just the better numbers. But I don't know how well Jordan Montgomery has been this year. And I'm gonna look at his numbers real quick, but you were telling me that some of the like Will Smith just came back from injury. The Dodgers kind of got some people back. So I mean Dodgers can be a little sneaky.
Yeah.
Montgomery
Sorry, but
Montgomery's looked okay.
if you look at home run odds on Ballpark Pal, um, Betts, Outman, and Freddie all project at plus 500 or better. So, I mean, that's a pretty good spot. Not the best spot on the slate, but, pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think those bats kind of interest me. Montgomery's looked okay. I mean, it's funny because I feel like whenever Montgomery's on the slate, we're like, oh, screw that, we're not playing him. And then he drops like 40. He's had a game. So just in order from the beginning of the season, 21 points, 58 points, 32 points. then had one game -3 in his last game against San Francisco. He dropped 40. So he's been like pretty good, but I also think that with some of the Dodgers players coming back and Mookie, Outman have been doing good. I mean, it's kind of hard to get away from some of those bats and 0.7% leverage. I think this is just a decent spot for them. Not saying you should do a full stack of them, but maybe do a secondary stack, or if you want to do two different two-mans of like a secondary stack, maybe mix in a couple Dodger bats, but
Yeah, I was gonna say they they look more like a 3-man, or maybe you just take a one off of Freddie, but not. I mean, they're just really interesting at such low ownership because Core is just going to take all of it.
all right. Um, by the way, if you play the White Sox today, you're a psychopath. They've actually some progress. They've been getting some runs, but they also can't win a game. But Jake Berger went yard. That's all I really know from yesterday. But then again, they still find a way to break my heart. But
Yeah, I think
um,
Andrew Vaughn went yard too.
Vaughn, that was the other one. Sorry, we can't be the Reds. But
Yeah, speaking of the Reds Oakland game, that was just absurd. I mean, they projected decently on Ballpark Pal just because the arms were so bad, but I can't believe they gained 15, like 20% ownership in that park. Like absolutely insane. I guess the arms matter more. Like I know they were just terrible. Um, but I think Fraley hit one out, Rooker hit one out, Noda hit one out. I was like, golly.
I think Friedel did as well. I just remember I was like driving home from work and my phone went off and it said like Fraley or Friedel 2-run home run. I'm like, yeah, we're toast. It's like we were kind of toast anyway with not having
DeGrom.
Rayleigh or obviously DeGrom, but I was kind of hoping the rest of the games would just be like low scoring if we just like get some of the money back, but that wasn't the case, unfortunately. Um, all right, home run calls. Lead us off.
All right. So you were telling me that this San Fran Padres game is apparently in Mexico or something with some crazy run total, like 15 and a half is what I'm seeing. So I'm just going to take a couple from there. I'm going to go Jock Peterson, Soto, and then for the main slate, I'm going to go Brandon Lowe against Lynn.
Yeah, I like that. So yeah, I saw something on Twitter this morning about it. So, and then I actually checked. I'm like, holy crap, it is in Mexico City. I'm almost positive it's Mexico City. But so I'm gonna go with Tatis, JD Davis, and for the main slate, I'm just gonna go Simeon. He's been hot recently, facing Brito. I mean, this has just got Texas written all over it for me.
Yeah, I like that. Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
Just to kind of reiterate what we were talking about earlier, just kind of a quick recap. Pay up for pitcher, go with Corbin Burns or Clayton Kershaw. I guess if you want better bats, go with Detmers or Eovaldi, but just kind of know that they're gonna like Eovaldi's projected to be the highest owned guy. Um, you kind of have to get Arizona or Colorado as your main stack, and then mix in some bats from Texas, Tampa, maybe the Dodgers. This is a smaller slate because yesterday was just a big slate. This is a smaller slate, so you can get a little funky with some stuff, but don't get too funky, I guess. That probably just made no sense, but I don't care. I think you understand, but it's also kind of like you can get a little weird with stuff, but don't have like a Dodgers stack, full stack or anything. But no, that's pretty much it. Just make sure to check out the Twitter because that's where we will be dropping the lineup probably 10, 15 minutes before the slate starts. I'm gonna put the stochastic links in the description, just so then that way, if you guys want to get started and have your data on your own laptop, you can get that for yourself, and just make sure to like and subscribe.